All right, I think we're live, buddy, old pal. Today I'm with our very good friend, Jacob Sharrow, over there in Florida. Jacob obviously came to us a number of months ago, and we're very proud to be able to have helped him and get him on the right path and all of that great stuff. My name is Bill Welsh. I own this mad little space called the Objection Box with Nikki and Jack and Kieran and all the guys. We're very proud to be able to coach, train, and develop hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, just over 3,500 of you guys over the last nearly 2.5, nearly 3 years coming up here in June, which is pretty fucking awesome. What I want to do is I just want to introduce you to Jacob. If you want to take over, buddy, and give us a bit of a background of who you are, what you are, where you came from, how you found us, and all of that great stuff, buddy.
Yeah.
Rock and roll.
So my name is Jacob Sharrow. I'm 22 years old. I live in Tampa, Florida right now. Originally from the east coast of Florida, small beach town called Melbourne, near Cocoa Beach, if anyone knows where that's at.
Yeah.
But came to Tampa for college when I was 18, and then basically got into the info high ticket space about a year ago. The way I found Objection Box was one of your previous students, Kishan.
Yeah.
Got introduced to you through him and set for the first about 5 months of my journey up until about September, October
Mhm.
of 2024. And then the past 7 months now, 6, 7 months, been closing.
Yeah.
So been on a bunch of different biz op offers, stuff like that. But
Yeah. What
yeah,
did
it's a
you
little bit
study
about
in
me.
school? What did you go to school for?
Entrepreneurship. I actually am still in
There's
school
actually a
right now. I
degree for that?
graduate. Say again?
There's a degree and a course for that?
Yeah.
Are they?
I actually graduate May 10th. So in like three
You're still
weeks.
in there.
Yeah. I take online classes though because I close full time. So
Shit. So basically, you are the definition of an entrepreneur now because you basically run your own shit and go to school to get a degree. So what does
yeah, I got
the degree give you? Does it give you a concept of marketing, sales, fulfillment, business opportunities, operations, what vehicle to search for, how to crunch the numbers, all that great stuff, or like what?
in all honesty, it's a lot of busy work.
What
But I
about it?
mean, yeah, there's been some classes giving me, a couple golden nuggets here and there, but
That's the problem with education. It's been taught by people that have never done or built anything that they ever talk about. It's like
yeah,
anyone that has an entrepreneurship and like has made great money isn't going to college for 150K a year to fucking teach
exactly.
20-year-old kids how to do it. So
Like
it's
the past year of just being in an entrepreneur, I guess, or in the high ticket space has taught me more than my 4 year degree for sure.
that's
So
the problem. It's like you're getting taught on theory rather than application, which is never going to work.
exactly, yeah.
What were you doing before college? Like obviously you just went from high school to college. Is that how you guys work over there?
Yeah, high
You're
school
still a
to
young man.
college. So in high school, actually, I was dabbling in a little bit of online business. It was like during COVID, was my
Ah,
senior year. So did a little bit of drop shipping. Um, that didn't work for
yeah,
me due to whatever reason. And
yeah,
then also as well, did like door to door for a little bit, first year of college. Did like a B2B role in sales actually for like 2 months,
yeah,
but didn't really start taking anything seriously until about a year ago.
yeah.
And I was like, okay, I have a year left and I need
Why
to make.
why did you not just do what normal people do when they go to college? It's just like get pissed and chase girls and try not to get an STI. Why didn't you do that?
Well, I did that for first couple of years, had my fun, partied
Yeah,
up a little bit, but then I was like, okay, like I know what I want for my life. I know that I
yeah,
want more, and I know that I'm destined to actually build a life that I wanted.
sure,
It was a matter of like when I was going to start taking that seriously.
yeah.
And so that kind of shifted for me a year ago. I was like, okay, I'm actually gonna like take my life into my own hands and do something about it.
I
So
can't wait till you actually can start growing a beard as well, because it's going to be way better than what we're looking right now. Look at
got a
that
little
nice
bit of
pump shot.
scruff.
Yes, shit. When you joined, I know obviously you joined off the back of Kishan. We're very good friends with the Cartel Boys, with Lukey and what's his brother's name? Nicholas? No, it's not. It is. What's his brother's name?
Luke and then
Luke.
Logan.
What? Luke and what?
Luke and then Logan's his brother, but Luke
Logan. There you go. I
Mission.
was thinking his second name is Nicholas, but that's obviously Luke's as well. And then obviously Kishan and Sanjay and all the boys, and even Gavin and all those guys. So
Mhm.
we're all very close, which is awesome. And so you came in off the back of that. So your skepticism and doubts before signing up, like what were they?
Yeah, so I saw, well, I'll kind of rewind a little bit.
Yeah.
So Kishan, I lived with him in our frat house actually, our second year in college. He got his like AA before, so he like was graduating in 2 years, whereas I had four.
Yeah.
So basically the second whole year that, or the whole year that I lived with him, our second year in college, I basically, it was like a year-long case study of him going from zero to like 15, 20K a month. So I like would talk to him about it here and there, kind of get an idea about that.
Yeah.
Um, but I didn't really like understand what he did until, I actually like took the effort to learn about it a little bit.
Yeah.
But he was obviously one of your previous students, crushed it, got great results. Then he got me introduced, into the space and everything. And then didn't really have any skepticism or anything like that,
Mm.
because I'd watched a little bit of your content, and then also as well, I saw that he was literally a firsthand experience of the objection box,
Yeah.
and from there, obviously like came to you, got connected, and since then it's been up from there. So
Yeah. Yeah. It's the same with what's the other gentleman that we coached out? My brain, I've been doing content from like 11 o'clock this morning. It's now nearly
all
6, so
good.
the brain is frazzled. What's the other guy's?
Philip.
Philip. Philip Caps.
Yep.
Another great kid too. You guys are so fucking awesome because like you guys are looking at the game in a concept of like how do I get to where I need to be before I hit 30 years of age? Whereas like I started entrepreneurship when I was like 2021 when I left military, but I was walking where all you guys were in a Ferrari sprinting past me. So for the first 6 years of my entrepreneurship, I got my dick handed into me. So I don't know, could I have been able to be that young that you guys are and make the money that you guys are making, which is fucking awesome. It creates a different problem, which is like, how do you stay hungry? How do you keep going? How do you keep building? How do you not participate on the negatives of life of what money can give you and all of that great stuff. So that's
Yeah.
something that I've always been of, real not worry, but like trying to get through to you guys, Kishan and Philip and all the young guys, that just because you make it once doesn't mean you're automatically going to make it forever. So you have to keep turning up and keep going back to the well all the time. What was
100%.
your what was your like first impressions when you got in? Like what was your initial experience?
Yeah. Real quick before I get to that, like what you said, I feel I'm 22, but I feel like I'm kind of running out of time a little bit. Like, because I see people like I kick myself, can't change the past, but I kick myself for not starting sooner. Um, so just wanted to kind
How
of throw that
how
in
soon did you want to start though? And this is the problem that I have with Miami. It's the problem I have with the online space. It's like there's a level of experience that you have to have as a person before you try and make a shit ton of money that you need in order
there.
to be able to have a shit ton of money. Does that make sense? So
Yeah.
like if you
I feel
have
like I
enough
had to
money,
get, yeah, I feel like I had to get like the little kid shit out of my system, in terms of
mm,
like partying, college, all that. So I'm glad that the way it happened, it has, because I don't think I would have mentally been able to withstand like putting in the work as much as I am, for the
yeah.
past year, making the money I am. So
Even a
for the
year, like if
actual,
you think of like even a year to go from zero to $30,000 a month in a year, it's like fucking what the fuck is going on? But that's the beauty of this industry. As I try and get to all you fucking fuckheads, that's what can happen when you rock and roll with the right people who give you the right education. You meet the right opportunity with the right level of certainty, conviction, and confidence with your skill set. You take on the whole game. It's how it works. That's what I'm trying to get to you guys.
yeah,
But
100%.
22 is like fuck. I was old young, if that makes sense. I had my first baby at 22. You
Yeah,
imagine a baby in your life right now?
I couldn't know.
No. So you got to keep wrapping your willy up, as they say.
Yeah, for sure.
What were your first impressions then? What was your initial like experience, response? Because you get around, because you started at family, then you transitioned into elite. You also came to Miami, which was probably we can definitely get into in a second. Like, what was your first experience getting around me and Nikki and kind of seeing the line that we hold in this industry? What were your
Yeah.
thoughts?
The first thing when I came in was like, and you hit on this all the time, is in order to, because sales at the end of the day, yeah, we're here to make money, but like it's also helping people too at the end of the day,
Hmm.
right? And it's leading people into, helping them and helping them make a change, right? So in order to, help people do that, right, we first have to do that internally, right? Have the confidence and conviction in ourselves and everything.
Mm,
But in terms of like first impressions, like came in, you guys awesome fulfillment. You guys were there, on time, every coaching call, really got into, everything, broke it all down. The thing with family that I really liked was there was different coaching calls for different part of the framework,
mm,
right? So like one day was North Star, one day was future pace, consequence, pitch. So that kind of helped me break everything down. And then also objections is a beast of its own.
mm.
Uh, so I liked how that kind of like structure was when I came into it. And, everyone's always role playing in family and every day people are, wanting to get better
Yeah,
and you guys holding us to a higher standard as well was super important.
awesome.
Um, but did family for about month and a half, then went to elite. And that's where obviously like more high level information, high level training has taken place and everything. And back to what I said before, just like you holding us to a certain standard in order to hold other people to that standard has helped me, gain confidence, conviction in myself and my skill set and who I am as a person as well.
Awesome. What's been your kind of like breakthrough moment or like key realization that kind of fundamentally was, I've crossed the line here. Like I now understand what I'm doing and I'm going to launch off. Like, what do you feel that
Yeah.
was?
I would say two different things, like fully, because the first I would say 3 months or so, 2, 3 months was really understanding like the objections framework, right? And really getting that down and memorized and ingrained in in my skull, right? But when I went to Miami and had the in-person training, got to shake your guys' hand, right? That's when everything kind of clicked for me and was like, okay, I truly actually understand how this funnel works now. Now it's just getting more reps of it. And now I've done it so many times where I'm confident to like I can objection handle anyone, right? So um
So talk to me about the results. Like what have you done over the last couple of months? Like, where are you now in your career and your income?
yeah, so um past couple of months have been huge. So my first basically 10K month, it was like 9.8K.
Mm,
That was January. And from there, February was a little slower, but March was really, my biggest month and kind of has changed my perspective on things on, what I actually need to be doing every day and like, what offer is good for my skill set, right?
mm,
Because um March was a huge breakthrough in terms of, everything like personal, career related,
yeah.
but in terms of like numbers, last month did with everything, did right under 32. Actually, it was right over 32. So like 32 and a half K with everything. So that was
4 or 5 months you've gone from making, as when you were doing the setting, 4 or 5K a month to now being in a position where you just crossed over 32K last month.
Yep. So my first day was May 6th of 2024, like on my first ever setting offer. Was making 4 or 5, 6K a month, about for like first five months. And then my first closing month hit about 6K, 6 or 7. And then December, usually slow, but I did about 8K in December. January was basically 10. And then kind of from there. So yeah, within like 6 months of closing, basically went from 6K, 6K to about 30K. So
Fuck me, think. Shit. How's things changed? Not like the money is the money. The money will come and go, and I want you guys to understand that. But what has changed that has allowed you to do that? Guys, if you're watching this and you respect that level of growth, that level of understanding, that level of internal shit you got to do to go from less than 5K, 5, 6, 4K months to now being in a position last month where you cleared 32K, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25 years of age. If you respect that type of hustle, guys, let me know in the chat. Let's blow up the charts and say a big well done to Jacob and the growth that he's been on over the last 12 months. Look, what's
yeah.
changed? Like what's been the fucking, I suppose, the internal beliefs and everything else that has allowed you to kind of really fucking push on? And like what do
Yeah.
you see in the mirror now?
Yeah, the biggest thing is like nothing's changed for me. Like I didn't go and buy like a watch or a car, any crazy stuff like that. The biggest thing for me is just how I view myself and like my potential, and
Mm,
also as well like being detached from the sale. Like I'm so detached from the outcome now of the call,
Yeah,
whereas the main priority, it's obviously been in the works, like been wanting to help people more, but
yeah,
now it's like, shit, I could care less about the $500 or the $750. It's more about like, can I actually help this person?
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
So in terms of the money, like nothing's changed too much, but like how I view myself, my skill set, right, more confident in myself and helping others as well. And actually leading those people, that's the biggest thing.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, it's just like now I know what I can do and my potential, and it's like anything less than like 10, 15K a month now is like,
Bad not.
yeah.
Shit. How do your parents think about all this? Do they know? Have you told them? Have you expressed it? What do
Yeah.
they think?
Yeah, I told them I actually FaceTimed them on like the last night of last month and told them, and they had like no words. They were just very proud of me.
Yeah.
My parents love me, support me to death, and
Mm.
they've only ever wanted the best for me. And obviously, like they wanted me to go to college. I didn't really want to, but I did it because I had a scholarship, so I was like, all right, might as well.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, like now that they're seeing me in the position I am, they have nothing but like love and support for me. So
Awesome.
um, it's there's no other feeling than making them proud.
Yeah. Well, how are you going to repay their faith in you and their loving you? What are you going to buy them or do for them? Or because that's
Yeah,
the key. I always tell you, young guns, it's like, don't be the person that says, when I get X, when I achieve Y, I'm going to do one, two, and three, and then you get it, and then you never do.
yeah,
I remember being your age, and my biggest dream was to always buy up my mum's mortgage. And when I made all my money, I did. And that's something that I can never be taken away from me. I've gone and drove all the cars that I ever wanted to drive, wear all the watches, live in a beautiful home, and all of that great stuff. But I'll tell you this, the biggest pride you will ever have in your life is taking care of your loved ones, taking care of your parents, taking care of your kids, taking care of people that, were good to you, your friends, your relations, all of those people. That's what's really going to give you the
yeah.
pride and the satisfaction. So, with that being said, what do you have in mind?
Yeah, I mean, nothing like tangible right now because in terms of like I'll say this. So my goal has always been to like I have this vision of like giving my mom, a check for like 50 or 100K, right? Or retiring them and telling them they don't have to work anymore. Like obviously I just, started kind of hitting big months, right? So
Mm.
as that builds up, like I do want to be able to take care of them and retire them.
Yeah,
In the next couple of years, that is the goal for sure.
yeah,
Uh, but yeah, like the biggest thing is like they've supported me through everything, as a kid, middle school, high school, up until
yeah.
now. So,
Why don't you
being
do this? I'm going to challenge you right now. Does your mum and dad like to travel?
they do, yeah.
Right? Why don't you cut them a check for 2.5K? Tell them get flights wherever you want to go, and that you meet them there, and you'll have a week with them.
Okay. I'll do that.
Yeah, I want to see you do it because I'll tell you this: the more money you give away, the more hungry you get to get it back. Anyway, so cut them a check, 2.5K, 5K, cut it off the rip, send it over to them. Um, get rid of the insecurity of like getting like making money, giving money away. It's
Yeah.
not it's not you're giving it away, you're lending it to your parents because when you give away the 5K, you're going to go make it again anyway because it's going to give you that hunger and that drive. But what
Yeah.
the satisfaction of giving your mom and dad a check for 5K or putting 5K in the bank account and say fly to wherever you want to go, I'd like to meet you there, is going to give you more drive and more passion to go out after.
Yeah.
So I'm going to challenge you to do that because the 5K you're going to make back anyway.
Yeah.
So
No, I'll take that challenge because I've known that I've always wanted to give them more and provide for them.
yeah,
Just never really had an idea of like how that would look. So that
yeah,
is
there you
something I'll
go.
take that challenge
There you
on.
go. I remember cutting a check to pay off the mortgage, a six-figure check. And I remember sending it to my mom. I called her and I said, it's over, done. We don't need to worry about it anymore. Everything we have now, it's gravy. The pub is ours. The home is yours. I want you to relax. I want you to enjoy it. You can hear the satisfaction and the tears in her eyes, and you can hear it in her voice and in her tone.
Yeah.
And it's a memory that will never leave me.
Yeah.
It's a pride. It's a sense of pride that will never go.
Yeah.
So that's what I want you to have. And as you keep growing and get more and doing more, that will keep growing and building and building and building. I'll give
Yeah.
you an example. Like every time I leave my home, I leave cash under the pillow. My mother rings me. She's like, "You shouldn't have left the cash, but thank you very much. We're going away for a weekend, and we're going to use the money." So it drives me on. It brings passion to my job every day. It makes me want to go out and help more people, to give more, opportunities to the people that you love. But that's what I'm going to challenge you to start doing. All you guys should be doing it. Don't just be the guy that says, I'm going to do it when I achieve X, and then don't do it because you're scared or fearful, or it's like your first time having 30 grand in your bank account. You want to hold on to it like it's, leave it go, leave it flow. I'm telling you, the more you leave it flow, the more it'll come back. It's like energy, it comes in and out of your life.
Yeah, that does help a lot. And that kind of sparked one thing I wanted to mention. Like
Mm,
when I basically when I invested into family, that was like a big chunk of what I had
yeah,
at the moment. And then upgrading to elite, it was even a bigger chunk of what I had,
yeah,
right? And you mentioned something like it gives you the hunger to make it back, right?
yeah,
So, for the first 2 months of Elite, like I was looking at my bank account, like kind of shit myself. Um, Not eating dog food or homeless or anything, but like was on the verge of like being a little, I was very uncomfortable. I was on the verge of like, holy shit, like, can I pay
yeah.
rent next month? But I did it because I knew that when I saw that money leave my bank account and I had confidence in you guys as well,
Yeah.
and in myself. But when I saw that money leave my bank account, I was like, shit, like I gotta make this thing work now.
That's what I'm saying. It's like when your back is against the wall, you got to come out and swing. But
Yeah,
like I said to you, it's like that is a level of survival that you need in your life. But once you get that, it's like, how do I give away so much that I want to get more to give more?
yeah,
That's the key. Like I have my two brothers working with us. The pride that I have in my heart of my older brother not having to fucking get up at 3 a.m. to drive to a job that most of the people that he's working that work for him don't want to be there. Like the pride that I have in my heart of him messaging me every day and saying, just brought Charlie to school, and just being able to spend that time with his daughter, and then being able to spend time with his two sons at home, and being there not completely exhausted at the end of a work day for his wife. All of that stuff and all of the stress and anxiousness and worry and, the fucking constant jibs on social media and the constant BS that I have to deal with. All of that makes it worthwhile because in 15, 20 years' time, when he has a relationship with his kids that has been built off exposure,
yeah.
and exposure meaning like he's there and he's not tired, he's not worn out, he's not exhausted, he's not thinking about how, if, but, maybe, could, would, should. He's not sitting in 4 hours of traffic coming home in Toronto every day. He's there and he's present with his kids and his wife. Like that
It's
pride that
about
I have. Do you know what I mean? So what I'm saying to you is like you need to make the wheel so big that you can figure out down the line how to help the people that you love. So my other brother now is getting married, or he got married. Sorry, Jack. They're recently in March, and hopefully he's going to have a baby soon enough, or the next year or 2 years, and hopefully, touch wood, that all of that transcribes. And he says, he's able to do that with his kids and his wife and all that great stuff. Like that gives me so much pride. It gives me so much passion. It gives me so much drive every day. And that's what I would say to you guys. It's like you should only ever make money to fill your own bucket. Once your own bucket is filled, then it's like, how do I fill other people with the experiences? How do I
yeah,
give back? How do I allow everyone else win? How do I give them experiences in life? How do we take care of each other as a community? Your community, like your community is your community. I have family, and if you can understand, all that I ever want to do in life is community is the name of the groups. Family is the name of the programs. We're bringing out another program. Here's a little plug. It's called Home. So everything is about community. Everything is about people. Everything is about friendships. Everything is about love and respect. And that's the key for all of this.
yeah,
Here's a question for you.
100%.
Here's a question for you. So you had to come in, you had to swing, you had to rock and roll. You had a little bit of that survival aspect which is needed. What were kind of some of the struggles that you had to overcome even after joining? Like, what did you have to get over in order to be able to thrive?
Yeah. Two biggest things. And one of them is probably, pretty self-explanatory, but objections. Biggest thing. And being able to, because objections, like, yes, the funnel and the framework, like that's in my brain. I know that exactly to a T. But also as well,
Mm,
objection is important, but also as well, back to what we mentioned before, like the inner work,
mhm.
right? That's the biggest thing that I had to build and the struggle. Like past year, I went from really like having my fun in college, doing what I was doing, to completely kind of not cutting off my friends, but not talking to a lot of people as much.
Yeah,
Kind of, keeping to myself. And there was a lot of, and also moving to my own apartment by myself, living by myself, going from living in a frat house to by myself, like
yeah.
learned a lot about myself. What you said?
No, I'm just agreeing with you.
Yeah. Like learning a lot about myself, obviously while building my skill set. And the biggest thing is that inner work. And
Mm,
now I have the confidence, conviction in myself and my skill set, to where I can actually, help other people and lead other people.
yeah,
So
there you
that was
go.
the biggest thing that, helped me was you holding us to a standard and me working on that myself as well.
How did
Um,
a coaching help you with those obstacles? Like, how did me and Nikki and, Mash and Jack and Kieran and fucking now Paddy is stepping in and all that kind of stuff? How have we been able to help you overcome those obstacles?
yeah, I would say the main thing is just pouring into us like every week, call after call,
Mm,
slapping us in the mouth a little bit, giving us the hard truth.
yeah,
Um, the things like that is, yeah, like it's uncomfortable, it sucks in the moment, but at the other on the other side of that is, the person I am now.
yeah.
Um, and you guys have helped me do that. So that's the biggest thing is just that inner work and having the mindset of someone that can lead the other people as well.
Yeah, there you go. Shit, there you go. And like, I'm not gonna ask you to do that all. What do you feel you want to recommend the program and all this sort of bullshit? That's just everyone's opinion. You do whatever you feel you want to based on what you see. Um, like the whole concept for me is to give you guys as much as I can possibly give you. Do you have questions for me? I give you guys options to ask me questions. What would you want to ask me, knowing where and what I've done and what we've been able to achieve and all of that great stuff?
Yeah.
What would you want to know?
Um, Well, you've seen, obviously, you've been a huge part. You've seen my journey from, where I came to where I am now.
Yeah.
What do you feel is, you know, I guess the next step for me in my journey, or, things I can do to take it from, the high level to even that, next
Yeah.
level.
It's what do you want? Because that's the fundamental goal of all of this. What do you want? Do you want to make more money or do you want to help more people in a sense of a team and running a team and this, that, and the other stuff? What do you actually want?
I
Don't
mean,
just say, I want to run a team because you want people to feel that's what you feel. Like, there's no shame in wanting to make money to give to your family and to give to your people that you love. There's no shame in it. Or
yeah,
is there?
for sure. I would say both, but I'll kind of break it up like, yes, more money for the sole reason that, yeah, like 15, 20K a month, that takes care of me.
Mhm.
But like you said, I want to be able to send my parents 5, 10, 15 grand a month, right?
Yeah,
And fill their cup as well.
good.
So obviously make more money, but
Yeah,
also as well, help other people and change
yeah,
other people's lives, not
yeah,
even on sales calls, but
good. Well,
people
there
in
you
general.
go. So I'll give you the concept. So most people that get to your stage, it's like you got to consistently put up numbers. So that's 20K, 30K for like 12, 18 months, 2 years. And what that will do, it will attract the right type of people, right type of friendships, the right type of relationships. You got to get yourself into a position where you steer away from being a sales manager. That's what I'm
Yeah.
going to tell you. You got to steer away from it because what you're making right now, with all honesty, unless you're getting a fucking bonus structure or you're getting a cut of the slice, meaning cut of the overrides, you're
Mhm.
wasting your time. So I would stay doing what I'm doing. If I was in your shoes and if I had to go back and rebuild, I would stay making the money. And what I would do on top of that, I would look for people that needed sales as a department of their company. And I would join forces and take equity in a business and I would run the sales department of that business. And you become the revenue officer, you become the sales manager, you become the sales director. You fundamentally solely focus on turning a lead into a paid dollar.
Mhm.
And that can be done from revenue streams and from sales streams.
Yeah,
And I would do that, and I would take a percentage of a company, and then I would build out a team underneath me, and I would run it that way. And that's how you're going to help people as you wanted to, but that's how you're going to solidify yourself in terms of equity, bonus structures, commission structures, even fucking disbursements such as I say, such as my head today. At the end of every year, business owners fundamentally can draw out what? It's like
pretty
a
cool.
reimbursement. So you get a oh my head today. So as a business, you can take out money and it's like distribution, but like there's a different name for it. I can't even think of it for the love of me. But what it basically is the company makes 2 million a year, 1 million is in profit. Two business owner takes 500K each as a distribution of funds. I can't remember what the word is, but it's gone completely blank. But I know what I'm saying. So that's what I would do. Dividends. There you go. Thank you, Nikki. Dividends is the word I'm looking for. But the whole concept of what I would mean by that is you fundamentally don't become a sales manager. You get your 5K run rate. Now the difference is it's like you got to get yourself to a value where like you're highly wanted and highly know that if you walk into a company, you're going to be able to take a piece, which is great, which is what I want to do with my guys and Jack and Kieran and Nicky and all those guys. I want to be able to, help them out and give them a piece of the company. That's always been the goal. That's always been the drive for me. That's always been the community aspect and the respect that I've always wanted them to know that I live by. So that's what I would look at if I were you. I would steer away from becoming a sales manager. I would steer away from sales coaching. And I would solely focus on getting your level to a place where you're constantly churning 20 to 30K every single month, connecting with people that are in your network that you know, like from Kishan and Luke and Philip and all those guys. I guarantee you there's going to be a guy down the line in 18 months' time that needs somebody to come in and run the entire sales force for his company. And that's where I would be.
For sure.
And when that
Appreciate
time
that.
comes, you'll be there. And
Yeah,
that's how you take percentage of the company, 15, 20%, 10%, 5% in override, dividends, bonus structures, commission structures, build a team underneath you. That's how you take care of those people that you want to. And then that's how you actually solidify yourself so you can take yourself out of just taking all the sales calls to maybe
yeah,
taking a couple, getting people in, you train them, you develop them, you run the numbers, you get a logistics guy in there like I do and sales managers and stuff. And then that's how you do it. That's
yeah.
what I would do if I were
I,
you.
I appreciate that. And I feel like a issue with a lot of people is, right, like, and sales reps too, like they'll hit a 20, 30K month for a couple months and then they start coaching program or something like
Yeah,
that. Or,
that's great.
you know,
Like, do that.
but
Like, that's
the thing
great.
that I want to do personally is I want to feel like I'm already really good, but like I know there's
Yeah,
room for, even more improvement.
yeah.
And I want to, I don't want to get shiny object per se. Like I want to double down on this, stack
Mm.
20 to 30K a month for the next year at least. And then, like you said, potentially start getting clients, something like that, running sales
Yeah,
teams. Uh,
I do it that way. I would never do what you're talking about in terms of like sales coaching and training.
yeah,
And the reason why people might not notice, the reason why is because unless you have a USP, which is a unique selling proposition, you're going to go to the market and become vanilla. And the only way you're going to be able to compete is by price dropping and over and over and over again price dropping. So you'll always get a pump, but unfortunately, after the pump, you get the dump. It takes a very, very
yeah,
unique person or business or idea or structure to keep growing and growing and growing to the point where it's every month you produce incomes, outcomes, outcomes. So I would steer away from that because with all the time, the effort, the commitment that it takes to actually do what you want to do, the 20, 30K is going to go to somebody else. And the problem is when you coach people, some people want to be saved rather than helped. So we make it very fucking clear at the front. I ain't here to save you, dickhead. I'm here to help you. And if you feel like you giving me 6, 7, 10, 15, 20, 100 grand is the ticket to me saving your life, you're out of your mind. I don't need your money. I need your time and your energy and your commitment. So that's
100%.
the key difference. So that's what I would say to you. But yeah, look, everyone is entitled to do whatever they want, and that's brilliant. That's the same for everybody. I got no issues. You do whatever you want. But if I was in your shoes, that's what I would do.
Yeah. No, yeah, definitely doubling down, stacking my cash for at least the next 8, 12, 15 months and then
Easy.
kind of reassessing. But
Yeah. You think like you make 20K a month, 15 to 20K a month for the next 18 months. Do the maths on that. That's 300 and something K.
yeah,
It's 240 in
exactly.
12 months, another 6 months on top of that is another 120. So you're all in quids in for 340, 350, 300. Call it 300. 30% of that goes to the tax man, I guess, if not more. You're sitting in an account with over 200K sitting in it. You're cool. You're comfortable. You're above the pain line. And then it's like, okay, now I'm making moves. Now I'm like, I want to steer away from just being on calls 8, 9, 10 hours a day. How do I make moves?
Yeah,
That's the key. That's what the goal is for all of you guys, should be. And by the time you're my age, 31, 32, you should have millions in the bank.
yeah,
I hope.
100%.
I hope, I hope and wish in 10 years' time you message me and you go, Billy, do you remember me? I'm going like, yeah, fuck yeah, you're the kid that couldn't grow a beard, who went off and, sent his mother to 5K because I told him to want to call him out in front of all these people. But I'm sitting here with, $2, $3 million in the bank account, and I want to thank you for being able to help me do that. And I will take this much of praise where it's all you guys. You guys do it. I only show you the way. You guys rock and roll, which is the
Yeah,
key.
yeah.
Right.
I really appreciate the kind words and like the advice for sure. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, hopefully I've a little bit of wisdom in this young brain of mine. I'm only 32. People think I'm super old. I'm only 32 years of age. So there you go. But in this online space, I'm very old, unfortunately. I'm very, very old. I'm very old. Look, guys, I know, look, we've been here for 45 minutes. Jacob is a busy man. I'm a busy man. You guys are busy people. You should be going out there making money. If you're actually serious about this type of income, if you're serious about getting to that level and that standard, going from 5K to 10 to 15 to 20, even 32,000 like Jacob did last month, I'll never guarantee you a fucking single dollar. But what I will show you and what I will give you is like I've given thousands of people is the standard, the education, and the commitment that's needed to go out there and get what you want in this life. So if you want to do that, give me a message or just give me a thumbs up in the comments or whatever it may be. I know some of you are really nervous, so you message me all the time. It's perfectly fine. But don't hold on, wait, hope and wish and pray that someone is going to come off the cross and fucking make this happen for you. This life is for winners, and this life is for action takers, and this life is for people that go out there and make shit happen. Jacob, you got the last words, buddy. Last words of advice for all of those people out there, or yourself, or young Jacob. What do you have for them? You
Yeah.
got the last word, buddy.
Biggest thing is everything that happens in life, good or bad, it's your fault, right? 30K a month or being dead broke. Either one's your fault, so you have the choice to choose. But shout out Objection Box, shout out you, Bill. You and Kishan have literally taken me from where I'm at to where you got where I am now, and I can't thank you more than enough for that.
Yeah.
To the team as well, to Jack, to Nick, everyone. So I appreciate you, and yeah, if anyone wants to connect with me, it's just my name on Instagram, Jacob Sharrow. But other than that, yeah, I appreciate you, and looking forward to
Thank you
keep it
very
growing.
much. Absolutely. Keep going, keep pushing, keep inspiring the next generation because whether you realize it or not, there's an 18-year-old out there, a 16-year-old out there who just saw you speak your truth and get to the level that you're at, and they're next in line because of the words that you shared here today. So that's the beauty of life. Guys, we're out of here. Jacob, you're a legend. Go follow him on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, wherever you want it. Jacob Sharrow. Give him the link, give him whatever. Go and message the guy. Go and, congratulate him and, tell him you've been inspired and all that great stuff. Jacob, have a good week, my friend.
You
God
as well.
bless you.
Thank you, Bill.
Behave.
Appreciate you, brother.
See ya.